Hey guys, it's Bub here, and this you're taking a look at Tiny7. Now Tiny7 is, as you can guess, a smaller version of Windows 7 that I found on archive.org. In the past, I've taken a look at Windows 7 Lite, which did cut out a lot of the bloat that was included in Windows 7, which, for the record, isn't that much. But in this video, we're taking a look at yet another version. I'm very eager to see, because we've taken a look at Tiny10 and Tiny11 quite a lot in this channel before and all of its variations, so I'm very excited just to see what a non-NTDEV Tiny OS is going to bring us. I'm very excited to see, as like I said, this is not created by NTDEV, who typically creates some of the best lightweight Windows distributions ever. But let's see what this archive.org distro brings. And here we are loading into the setup. It looks like most typical Tiny OSs, it bypasses that first screen and brings us straight into setup is starting. We should soon, yep, there we go. We are going to be able to install Windows to that disk. And I'm just curious to know how long this is going to take, because it really shouldn't take that long. The ISO itself is less than 700 megabytes. So, I mean, yeah, installation is blazing by. I could probably talk all this out and actually talk until the out-of-box experience loads, but I'll save you some talking time. Alright, and here we are in the OS. The first thing that we see here is do not use this computer until Windows has restarted. Do not restart Windows yourself during this time. So I'm just going to go ahead and let this run. I'm not even going to touch the operating system. I'm going to just let this run until it reboots, because I don't want to break anything. Or actually, it's about to reboot, so we'll be back once this gets us back into the desktop. Alright, and here we are. So as we can see, this is made by Experience, which are the same people that brought us Windows Experience, which was Windows 10 meant to look like Windows XP. Let's just take a look at CPU and RAM usage before I even try to put VMware tools on here. So we're idling at 4 or 5% CPU usage and 259 megs out of 1 gig of RAM. Or maybe 2. I don't actually remember how much RAM I put in this system. I think it's 1. Yep, 1 gig. So let's go ahead and try to install VMware tools now that we've gotten that out of the way. Oh yeah, one last thing. Let's take a look at how much we're using. So we're actually using 2.7 gigabytes of hard drive space, which is not bad at all. So now that, we got baselines out of the way, I can try to install VMware tools, but it's going to fail because we don't actually supposedly have SP1. So we're going to be stuck like this, which is fine because we just go ahead and change the resolution, crank it up to probably 768, and that should get us a little bit better, or will get you guys a little bit better visibility into what is actually going on. Alright, so by default, as you can see the desktop here, we have this really cool gradient. I mean, it's a gradient. It probably takes up less space than the original Windows 7 background. We also have on the desktop by default, we have computer, we have recycle bin, experience, which is a whole bunch of stuff we'll take a look at in a minute, and then enable quick launch. I have a feeling I should not have opened that. I don't actually know what it does, but okay. I just have to say, even the brief experience I had, everything is just so unbelievably snappy. It's crazy. In the tray, we have our show desktop button, our calendar, our Bluetooth, our volume, network, USB, and a search window. I don't think that didn't come with Windows. I don't think this is an extra tool. And also you'll notice that the taskbar is the small taskbar. We can go ahead and switch it back if we want, but just for the sake of keeping this as OEM as possible, we're gonna have it how they left it. Opening the start menu, we can see that we have typical stuff: administrator, documents, pictures, computer, control panel, administrative tools. That is new, shortcut, and there's a lot of stuff cut out of here too, and then run. On the left side, we have getting started, calculator, sticky notes, snipping tool, and paint. In programs, I mean, we have Foxit Reader, I don't know why that's here, and WinRAR, and that's about it. I mean, that's all that came on this OS. So compared to Windows 10 and Windows 11, Windows 7 really didn't have that much bloatware in it, but anything that was really not needed for a Windows experience to happen, they cut it out. This is a very, very, very lightweight version of this operating system. But the good news is they did leave Internet Explorer in here, and the bookmark, or the home page rather, is google.com, which is pretty cool compared to it typically opens Microsoft. But unfortunately, it can't display it. I don't know. We should be able to have an internet connection. Yeah, we do have an internet connection. It just looks like whatever version of IE this is, IE 8, does not like There we go. Well, there's Bing. Bing was able to load, but just apparently not Google. Or maybe, oh, I know why, because it's not HTTPS. That way, no? I guess we are not privileged enough to go to Google. I just want to get to Google, but I guess we can't. So that's pretty cool. Let's take a look here at what WinVer we're running. So this is 6.1 7600 2009 Windows 7 Ultimate. I did not know that it was Ultimate. So let's take a look in this folder right here. This gives us firewall options, Komodo firewall, desktop icon layout, let's see, hibernation settings, keyboard settings, registry backup. And the one thing too, I love that all of these folders have a readme in them, because it really just tells you what each tweak actually does, which is actually something that most people don't do. TCP IP patcher, which increases the TCP IP half open connections from 10 to 255. And then we have, let's see, user password, which will change the password. Okay, pretty cool. Add remove programs, these are just shortcuts to those things. And I love that all the dates are 2009. I highly doubt that, I mean, Windows 7 wasn't even out at this point, like February 10th, 2009. It wasn't even out, I don't believe. I think it came out later in the year. But hey, so that being said, this was Tiny7. I love this. I mean, this is really bringing that Tiny10, Tiny11 feel back to Windows 7. With that being said, thank you for watching this video. Make sure to like it and subscribe if you're new around here, as we do all kinds of different technology videos, including device restorations. With that being said, I'll see you all in the next one.